if you're doing one-to-one marketing, you can do some things from a targeting standpoint that don't require a lot of third-party data. Maybe you can just do that. You can do this already, actually, starting with Definitive. So I want to give an example, actually, of ways to get to develop a much more targeted list based on customer insight. That's done in a more manual or face-to-face way. So I've given an example of an AI radiology solution. And so, they're going to go through a process here of refining their ideal customer profile. And they may well be using Definitive Health to do it. So in this particular case, the average sale price is about $500,000 and up. They're targeting the top 200 IDNs. And because of their past experience and their APIs, they're better suited to Cerner customers than anyone else. So first filter is, are they an IDN? Are they a Cerner customer? They also have some information that means that they're in a position to displace an incumbent called Company X. And so they want to particularly focus on those, and they're able to identify within Definitive Health that those, who are the customers, who are the IDNs that have that. So by going through that process, and that's not that complicated to do that, they were able to get it down to a list of from 200 to 40 IDNs that seem like they would be a good fit for what they do. The next thing is that, given their sales force, they only have, two salespeople. They really felt that they could only focus on 20 IDNs at one time. And so they wanted to say, well, which are the 20 that out of the, if we got to make a cut, how do we do it? We don't have enough information. So what they might do is do a couple of things. So first of all, do one-on-one research. So I actually do this with some of my clients where I'll do one-to-one phone-based interviews with either current customers or warm prospects who are willing to engage. And we do what's called a future needs assessment. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The other thing you can do is also do in-depth account analysis, where you really dive in deep on all sorts of other research and information about those accounts, so that you're making a much more informed decision as you're disqualifying half of your target account list. So by doing this, this company was able to get from 40 down to 20, and those 3 salespeople can then focus their attention on those 20 IDNs. I talked about account analysis. So what we do this. So what we typically would do is look at organizational priorities, market dynamics that are affecting their organization. We'll develop a stakeholder map. So let's say they're going after the directors of radiology. So we'll tell them who the system directors of radiology are, and then who the facility, who the directors of radiology are at the facilities, and analyze these to figure out who are the ones that they can get hold of the best. We look at press, we look at social media, we look at all sorts of other information. And what we're doing is providing them with additional insights to prioritize and score, the addressability of that particular customer, who to target and how to message them. I also want to share with you some other things that we do is we call this a future needs assessment. So this is one-to-one customer insight. So it's interview based. So we look at their current and future needs. We look at how the organization, how in this case, the radiology AI company is viewed by this prospect. What does they need to be successful, etc. We sort of dive in deep, and what we're trying to get to is how to win business and how to accelerate deal flow within each one of those organizations. So, looking across 40 accounts, we might do this with, say, 5 to 10 of them, and then do the more desk-based version for the rest. But the idea is to give them insights so they can confidently get to a narrow set of targets.